How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video here on a Red Zone Rogue. Today, we are going to talk about something important. In fact, we're going to talk about something that I identified as one of the most important things for the growth and the future of Flesh and Blood actually last year. So I'm going to bring up this old tweet that I made in January 28th, 2022. Where I say that multiplayer Ultimate Pit Fight and casual-friendly formats like Commoner are huge content goals of mine for the year, and that I aim to show everyone that Flesh and Blood can be played casually and or via multiplayer, and that it is a ton of fun. And I would like to say right now that I had varying degrees of success with this. Commoner content doesn't get a ton of views compared to other content, and it's just really hard to organize a lot of UPF videos. But I did do some, and I have done more recently, and I have done some really cool stuff recently that we'll talk about that, well, I was part of it, so let's just say that. And I bring this up because it seems that Legend Story Studios agrees with me. Well, you know, a year later or so. So we're going to be talking about this article right here, which is called Keeping It Casual. And I want to say something right now that I've been trying to outmode the term casual and instead use the word social, right? Because casual implies, it has some negative connotations in gaming, just in general, right? If you call someone a casual, it's usually not like, it's usually, I don't want to say a derogatory term, but it's like a negative term, right? You call someone like a filthy casual or something like that, with not good intent. And so even though that the term casual can be used very well, I think it has inherent negative connotations with it. And I've been personally, lately, trying to use the term social, because I believe you can be a social player, but still be trying to win, right? So like, for example, for multiplayer formats, you could be playing Ultimate Pit Fight, but you still have the goal to win and also have fun with your friends. Casual doesn't mean you're bad or have bad decks or anything like that. So I'm just gonna get that out of the way, get that nomenclature out of the way. So we're talking about this article, Keeping It Casual, and it's one that I was very, very happy to see pop up on the official Flesh and Blood website, because it is something that I've actually mentioned to several folks from Legend Story Studios over the years, where I was just saying like, you know, I legitimately believe that the casual or the social audience is the future of any trading card game, because there's a hard cap to the number of hyper-competitive players, tournament grinders that there's going to be. And the number of social players, people who want to play just for fun or play at the kitchen table, even if they want to be competitive with it, have good decks, and well-tuned decks, that audience is so much bigger, and you can tap into a lot, it's a wider net, basically, is what I'm saying. And so it's awesome to see Flesh and Blood recognize this and focus on it in a very real way. And so we're going to talk about that today. We have another article as well that we're going to bring up that actually has to do with things that they're doing to support this. And so it's not just lip service. They have casual, keeping it casual, but they're also going to be doing stuff about it. So let's go over the article. So it just says that it brings people from all over the globe, but it has so much to explore. The world of Wraith has so much to explore. So it says, for many players, it's not the grueling battles of the Pro Tour that they get the most joy out of. It's catching up with their mates to crack open some packs of the newest set, or getting together for a wild bout of Ultimate Pit Fight. UPF is a ton of fun. We'll talk about that more. I think it's a heavily underrated format. You should all try it, and I have a great introduction into this format. Flesh and Blood is a game that can be enjoyed by everyone, whether you're a casual or competitive player. Like I said, I want to use the word social or competitive player. Our aim is, and always has been, to bring people together in the common language of great games, and I think Flesh and Blood does that in a very real and very good way. As such, there are some very exciting things brewing in the casual play scene that we wanted to share with you this week. So here is a tips and tricks kind of guide with the OG Session Blood dudes, Kieran and Carol, as well as Jacob Pearson, and they're going to be going over just Sealed. And I think Sealed and Limited, just in general, is a great way to play if you don't have a collection and if you don't have like a tier 1 deck. I always say limited is the great equalizer, right? It is more skill than how much money you put into buying your fabled and legendaries and all that kind of stuff. So sealed and limited, sealed and draft, limited in general, is just absolutely fantastic. It can be a little tough because it's a very skill intensive way to play the game, but like I said, it is a great equalizer. It doesn't matter how much money you have when you play limited. Everyone is on the same field. Here we go. This is where I wanted to talk about Ultimate Pit Fight with the Professor. And it says, our friends over at Tulane Community College have been diving into our casual multiplayer format, Ultimate Pit Fight. Witness the carnage as the Professor throws hands with guest stars, Red Zone Rogue, DM Armada, and Dalen Mack. Catch the action below. And there also is a how to play Ultimate Pit Fight video that Prof did as well. And obviously I was a part of this. This video is a long time coming. I'm not going to divulge too much information about it, but let's just say that Prof and I have been thinking about it for quite a while, and I think it turned out very well. If you have not seen this video yet for some reason, please go watch it. It is a ton of fun, and I think it's a great thing to point new or interested Flesh and Blood, people who are interested in Flesh and Blood. It's a great way to introduce them to the game because it shows how much fun the game is. Now, it's not a great way to learn to play Flesh and Blood. No. This is a great way to get people who might be interested in the game to be interested in the game, because it's a ton of fun, shows you like the flavor and of like the classes and just how much fun the game is to play. I keep saying fun, but I mean that's really what it is. It's a ton of fun. And so that's a great way to just get people interested. And if you want people to learn to play, then you go and, you know, show them other videos. If you want to watch them, have them watch videos. Prof has a really great how to play video. And then, you know, pick up some Blitz starter decks. The Outsiders ones are really, really great for learning. So are the History Pack 1 decks as well. Maybe I'll do a video on that eventually. But yeah, this is a great one. And then we also have some more stuff. So here we have James White playing Ultimate Pit Fight in Pro Tour Baltimore, which is pretty cool. I'm sad that I will not be here, but it sounds like a lot of fun. So here's your chance. If you're going to Pro Tour Baltimore, your chance to play James White in UPF, which is really, really cool. I'm really curious to see what hero James will be playing in Baltimore. We all know James likes Kano, but I wonder if he's going to be playing Kano in UPF. Kano is pretty nasty in UPF, but it paints a big old target on your back, and you're only at 15 health, so you gotta be nice, or you're gonna get ganged up on. So yeah, he'll be there Saturday, 3 p.m. UPF side event with a gold foil Silver Palms up for grabs, which is funny. Gold Silver Palms. There's also more side events and that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of side events at these big tournaments. That's usually what I enjoy the most. I have played in callings. I have done coverage at callings. I probably enjoy doing coverage the most. But playing, I really, really like the side events. Events like Commoner, Shapeshifter, and UPF are just a ton of fun. I really like the Blitz events as well. And Limited. Limited is my bread and butter. I love Limited. But all this other stuff is really, really great. My good buddy Ian Kenderdine, also known as Right Time Gaming, did a article, talks about like RNG and having fun with that kind of stuff. He's a huge Brute fan. I would recommend watching, or rather reading, his article, which is also up on the Flesh and Blood website, right here, rolling in the deep. I would highly recommend reading this. I'm not going to kind of go into this today, but it's a lot of fun, and it really touches on some just really cool interactions in Flesh and Blood, stuff that you might not have thought of if you are one of those tournament grinders or your only experience is like your local armory and then meta talk and all that kind of stuff. It's really fun to dive into some random aspects that can just be an absolute blast. So definitely recommend reading this article. Like I said, Ian's a good friend of mine, and he is an industry veteran, I would say. He's been playing card games his whole life. And then we also have some casual play news for stores. And this is where we're going to get into some of the actionable things that they're doing, that they're making more social or casual events possible at your local armory, which is great because we have had people here on this channel comment how they showed up to their locals, and they got stomped, absolutely stomped by people who just have been grinding armories for like, 2 years now. And they're brand new players coming in with like a blitz deck, like a blitz starter deck, and they just got absolutely destroyed, and then their morale got crushed. So let's dive into what LSS is doing to help new players ease into the game at the local level. So I don't remember exactly which one is which, but one of them does talk specifically about the event structure. Here, is it? Here we go. I think it's this one actually. The casual play and armory kit guidance. Yeah, this is the article that I was talking about. So this article actually came out today. So it just straight up says it here. We've been looking at how we can provide more official organized play support to casual players. I think this is very, very important. This is something that Flesh and Blood needs to lean into more to get more people interested in the game. Now, you can talk about PvE and all that kind of stuff, but we know PvE is not coming out this year. James has said it. We could just put PvE to the side. We can talk about it, I don't know, 8 months from now or something like that. But, or maybe they'll share some sneaky stuff coming up. But for now, this is what LGSs can do to make it more new player friendly or more casual friendly. Because like I said, it's not just new players too. Maybe you just really like to play weird off-meta heroes. Maybe you love Datadol, right? And I know there's some of you out there who really love Datadol, or other heroes like Yoji or whatever who don't see a lot of play. So what are they doing? So they're announcing that from today, stores can now have the option of offering casual play events as part of their monthly armory schedule. So below they have revised guidance for options to use armory kit support for casual play. So basically, they're going to be making it so prize support isn't just for the person who spikes the event, which is very important in my opinion. I think giving rewards to people who show up and just have a good time is as important as giving rewards for people who spike the event, right? I think there's a time and place for both things. You can have the really hyper-competitive events where you show up and you try to do your best and then you win the event, but you also need events that are friendly to social players or new players too. Very important. Otherwise, the game's not going to grow. That's just flat up. And it says it right here. Our goal is always to bring people together through the common language of playing great games. Flesh and Blood is a great game. A little biased here, but so we hope this will provide some clear guidelines for official casual events that will help grow your local Flesh and Blood community. This is the most important part of this article, to grow your local Flesh and Blood community. Once again, this is not about players spiking events and just collecting all the foils to sell for $20 on the Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Cool image here. Good short chart. So it says their advice for stores on how they can use armor kits in order to support casual play alongside competitive play. Once again, I think they're both important to have both. So from now on, stores may run up to 2 armory events per month as casual play events. I would recommend that stores do this. I think this is so important. Awarding the cold foil promo card as a random prize draw rather than for first place. This is really good. This is how you can get players who just started and got absolutely crushed to still be interested and play the game, because they're like, hey, cool, I just won this awesome hero, right? Maybe I went 0-3, but maybe I learned a lot, and maybe next week I can come back and then try to do better. And they'll have a little bit incentive to do so because they actually won something. Or you still feel like you're in it, even though you're getting dumpstered, right? Please clearly advise the format and price structure. Yeah, this is very important as well. Make sure people know what they're getting into, mostly for those competitive players who, are trying to spike the event. So to whether they expect casual or competitive prize allocation. In addition to main Flesh and Blood formats, these casual play armor events can be run using any of the following formats: Ultimate Pit Fight, Commoner, Blitz, Pre-Constructed, or Shapeshifter Sealed. So these are all awesome. I really like Blitz Pre-Constructed, which I believe is where you just play with Blitz starter decks, which is super, super good. The starter decks are great. They play well together, put everyone on an even footing. Love it. Same with Commoner. Commoner's a little bit more competitive because, you're playing with common cards, but they're not bad decks. They're good decks. Shapeshifter Sealed is just insane, and UPF is just really, really good. I think UPF, like I said, is severely underrated and may be one of the most popular formats in Flesh and Blood in 5 years from now. So stores may also use leftover organized play kit materials to support on-demand and welcome events at their discretion. This includes leftover promos from previous armory kits, as well as other events like pre-release or skirmish, which is great. People's Champion playmats are to be given as a prize to a player or ambassador who represents positive community spirit. They may also be given out as a random draw, that kind of stuff. People's Champion playmats must not be used as prized based on performance, which is great. And I would recommend LGSs. Give this to someone who, positive community spirit. Maybe someone who shows up every week, but maybe they don't do so good, but they're there no matter what. Or they're someone who like brings a lot of people in, who just teaches a lot of people how to play. Those are the kind of people, in my opinion, who I think deserve stuff like this, or like a random draw if there's no one like that. Here's also some stuff about UPF. This is just kind of like their recommendations on how to play Ultimate Pit Fight. Like I said, there is a video that the professor made who goes over this. So if you'd like to watch a video, just watch that video instead. But here's also the rules that also break it down a little bit more, like 50-minute rounds, best of one matches, that kind of stuff. There are some important things here that UPF events do not reward XP. Commoner events do, though. So UPF, no XP. Commoner does reward XP, and then here it talks about Commoner. Once again, I'm not going to go over all of the details here. I just wanted to hit the really important notes. If you don't know what Commoner is, you just play with common cards. And then you can also have a rare hero and rare equipment as well. Hero and inventory can only consist of common, rare, or token rarity, and your main deck can only be common cards. Or at least cards that were printed at common. There's a couple tricky things here, like Lunging Press, for example, was printed at rare at one point, but it's also printed at common, but you can use Lunging Press because it was printed at common at one point. That kind of stuff. And then there's Shapeshifter Sealed, which is you just open up a bunch of crazy booster packs and you do sealed from it, and you can play like any hero in combination. It's insane. It's just nuts. And then Blitz Preconstructed, like I said, is very, very good. I recommend these kind of events 100%, especially if you are trying to grow your community from almost nothing, right? These are really, really good events because you, as an LGS, only need to support these $12 Blitz decks, right? You can even have like entry like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks or whatever works for you, and then it comes with the deck, which is a good way to sell the deck. So you sell them the deck, they get to pick which one. And then they also get to play in the event, and then there's like a random chance to win like a really nice cold foil. Maybe you have like pack per win prize support on top of that too, where people who win can get like packs and that kind of stuff. I think this is awesome. This is really, really cool. Even me, as an experienced player, someone who's been playing Flesh and Blood since the start, I'd play in this event just to help new players and just to help them get into it. I think this is super cool. So I very, very highly recommend Blitz constructed events. I think this is a fantastic idea. Especially like when new sets come out. I think it's really good. I think it's just a double whammy. Like as an LGS too, it also gets people excited about the new characters. Maybe they want to upgrade the decks and buy packs. This is just like a absolute slam dunk. These events should be run in Gem, and there is an official type for this too. And it says participation-based price structure to give a more casual, new player friendly experience. Yeah, like I said, random cold foil, and then maybe, like I said, like pack per win, or maybe everyone gets packs no matter what. Like that would be cool too. Maybe it's part of the pricing, and then whoever does the best gets more or something. I don't know. And they also talk about more casual play events, where you can just talk to your community and see what they like. Right? They have on-demand play in Gem, so you can kind of, mix and match, do whatever you want. So yeah, I think this is just an absolutely fantastic direction. There's even like welcome deck stuff. It does say here team sealed. Oh, these so good. But it says team sealed, team constructed, and welcome decks cannot be run as armory events. But team sealed and team constructed events are super fun. Like just team events in general. Oh, team draft. Ooh, that's so good. So that is another thing I recommend. More stores need to do some stuff like this. This is kind of a bummer, which means it can't be used as armory events, but the other formats can, like Blitz Pre-Constructed, right? So I think that's all very good. Gives you, as a store, incentive to actually do it, and you have price support. I think this is another just a really, really fun. If you just want to reinvigorate your Flesh and Blood scene, just have a great time, team events. So much fun. It's just, you have like this good sense of camaraderie, and you get to play with your pals, and it's just really good, especially if like one player is really experienced and like you have other players on the team who aren't as experienced. You can have like this really good learning experience. I just said experience a bunch, but yeah, I think this is all very, very smart and a very good direction. Now, obviously, that's me patting myself on the back because this is something that I identified over a year ago, but I truly believe that this is really like it's the future of any card game, right? Like, card games are going to live and die based on how many, casual or social fans they have, right? Most of the people who play card games, I think it's like 90% plus of players who play card games are kitchen table players. People who enjoy the lore, enjoy playing every now and then with their favorite class, hero, deck, or whatever, and not the actual tournament grinder type people. There's going to be those people for sure, especially with a game like Flesh and Blood, but I truly believe that it can be played more socially and that it is an absolute blast. It is my favorite way to play the game, and I don't want to say this, just straight up say it, but I'm one of the biggest fans of Flesh and Blood, Love this game. Absolutely love this game. So, if I think it can be played, if playing socially is my favorite way to play, it's definitely doable, definitely fun. And if you're a local store and you are trying to run some events, I think it's very good. And if you're not, try some of these events. Try to play, or some of these modes of play with your friends. Play Ultimate Pit Fight. Watch this video. Just watch it. It's so good. It's so good. Like I said, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I think this is important. I think this is a very good direction. And I have heard in a recent James interview that they are expanding their dev team to include people who are going to be designing cards for social formats. They're still going to have their main dev team to do their competitive stuff, but they're going to bring in folks to, make products or cards or whatever for social players to make it a more welcoming game for them. I'm very much looking forward to that kind of stuff, and can't wait to see what they have in the pipeline. I'm sure we got some cool stuff coming. I would expect announcements, if they're going to do any announcements, probably at Pro Tour or Worlds this year. So, yeah, keep an eye out. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time.